Hi everyone. Going to take over? Yeah, great. So, hi everyone. Hello, friend guy.
Is that your fan club as well?
Yeah,
well, you did tell
yeah.
me a pretty good fan club.
So first, allow myself to introduce myself. As you can hear, I'm not from here. I'm from this other side of the channel, from this country called France.
We will take it against you, it's fine.
Yeah. So my name is Guillaume Ge, so this is how you say it, because sometimes people just say Guillaume or Guiti, and sometimes you just call me like my French English version of Guillaume is William. They call me William Get, like me. I don't like it. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can get in touch on Twitter and my website jet.net. And I would just like to introduce myself, because you may not know why I'm talking here today. On the 1st of April 1976, as you know, Apple just landed on this planet, and I landed a few days later, on the 9th of April, so same generation, could I say. And I began to work on the Mac in 1994 on this brilliant machine, which were called the LC3. I was studying English at the University of Lyons, even if it doesn't sound like it. And in 1997, I moved in England to work in SitCup. If you don't know where is SitCup, it's over there. The over to O2 is up here. And
Great town.
sorry?
Great town.
Yeah, yeah. You know SitCup? I wish I didn't. Anyway. I was working at the European Apple Assistance Center, which was the ancestor of Apple Care. So all the European centers for technical support from Apple were just regrouped in London this time. It was a great time where I was giving technical support for French people, and which explains why my English did not improve that much, in fact. And in 1998, I launched my website, which was called jet.net, where I was trying to give technical help and create, just providing support to Mac users. We were not so many people at this time doing it. And in 1999, I decided to come back to Paris, mainly because of English food, and also because the French people were not sucking so much at soccer at this time, so we won the World Cup. We were not losers anymore, so it was a good time to come back to Paris. I've been working as an Apple trainer for a few years. I gave technical support on the Apple Expo for different kind of users, as you can see. And also I worked on the Apple booth. Oops, microphone. I've been working on the Apple booth, presenting Apple software, like here I was presenting iPhoto or whatever, iCar. Great times. For those who are wondering, I'm married, and this is the day I asked my wife for wedding. And I got one child, which is of course an Apple addict. And I've got one son, one daughter and one son. He is trying to just take a screen capture of his Mac using his iPad, which is the weirdest thing you could do, but wow, it's fine. And but if you need some technical support on Minecraft, you can ask him. So I'm also a big fan of Nintendo, so I play Super Mario, I play Zelda. My favorite Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy VI. I'm a huge Star Wars fan as well. I collect Transformers, which is with passion, but I also play Legos. I am more a Teen Iron Man, and my other car is a TARDIS. So if you've got some Doctor Who stuff you want to talk about, who's the best doctor, we can talk about this later. So I wrote a few books about the Mac, but mainly these books are quite big and in French, so if you are not speaking French, this is probably the best use you can get in my books today. But they're nice, honestly, if you speak French. So in 2006, I decided to work on my own and become a freelancer and become an Apple consultant. And I launched my company, which was called jet.net Consulting. So it was an extension of my website and my work I've done for many years. So I'm officially an appointed consultant from Apple on the ACM. And mainly today I'm working with SMB. So not this SMB, but small and medium business, because there's a lot of activity as well. Of course, many of you coming here are dealing with many thousand, hundreds of Macs, and it's really great. But I've got so many people coming to me and saying, well, we've got some few machines, 5, 10 machines, what can you do for me? And there's a lot of activity over there. So my work today is just like what consultants do, like consulting, of course, training, providing tech support, technical expertise. And also I try to provide integration in Windows environment or others. And MSP. MSP is quite something interesting. It's something I began to work on last year. And so I decided to try to become a real managed service provider. And this happened about 1 year ago. I was just, not in this place here, but in another room. I'm at Duck, and I was over there. And it really began to create something for me. It was really a very great event, and it's a great thinker for me. And I decided to try something else, not trying to be more efficient at working, and so I began to try to provide proactive support, software deployment, of course, patch management, which we do, of course, backup management, and try to work on ticketing solution. Because even if you work on your own, having your own ticket solution can be something really great. And if you're working by yourself, you're not working in a big company, even if you're working alone, sometimes just having something to try to provide focus on your problems is really great. What I didn't envision is that moving to MSP is great, but it's also very, very hard, very hard. First, you have to try to find the right solution, and you have to try to stick with it, because there are now many, many different solutions, and if you come here and listen to everyone, well, every solution is the best you can get, and you've got so many to choose about right now, though. Filewave, macOS server, Jamf, Monkey, whatever. There's like many different teams, and which one is the best. At this time, I don't have a clear choice. Maybe I'm more a Filewave guy. I also work with Jamf. I try to work on Monkey as well. I like Filewave because it has this booster thing, which allows to provide, so I've got a Filewave server at home, and I've got a booster which is hosted on a provider, and different booster from my customers on site. And it allows me to just push the updates very easily from one machine to another, and providing staging is very easy to do, so very efficient. And if a user is just not on site, if a customer can just get the update directly from my Filewave booster, so it's just very efficient bandwidth management. So try to get the right solution for you. If you've never heard about Watchman monitoring, I would just rather suggest you get it now. It's really a great product, great people managing it, and really Alan and Cock and his team are just killing it. It allows you to get really proactive with your customers, trying to find the problems before we arrive on the machines. And it allowed me to get really good customers because they were very impressed by what we could manage to try to find just before the problems arrive. Like your hardware failing. Well, nothing in macOS tells you that your hardware is failing unless it's failed almost. You've got smart status, but not very efficient. And Watchman is really great for this. So if you can do it, just try it, play with it. It's really a great product. If you're working on your own as well, I would just suggest that you show your brand, really. It's really important. Even if you're working on your own, you are your company. Your company exists because of you, but you have to show your company. So, like in Watchman Monitoring, you can just put your logo, a link to your technical support, and Watchman provides a really great feature, which is a custom menu. And this one, interestingly, was very good feedback from my users. I got very good feedback because it allows me to customize the items according to the customers, provide, so yeah, it's in French, I know. But you can get open support ticket, launch TeamViewer directly from one place, and it really, really helps the user, and they really like it. Honestly, it's one of the parts where I get really, really good feedback. So, if you're working on your own, it's also very easy to just try to work and get in the train very fast. But sometimes you just forget some very important stuff, like to get a lawyer and write contracts. And I'll talk about this later, but sometimes just writing a contract, even if it's a very small one, is really useful to allow to protect yourself and protect your clients as well. And at the beginning when I was working on my own, I just didn't do this. It was just like, hey, handshake, really great, thank you. And sometimes, well, it didn't work out very well. So it's very important to write contracts, talk with a lawyer, it costs some money, but sometimes just also save money on the long run. You shouldn't be as well to be scared to fire customers. And this is something I learned the hard way as well. But it's very interesting. The relationship with the customer is two ways. It's just like the customer says and you have to do it. Sometimes when the customer just go really beyond your rules and just do nasty things, but you have to take action. And sometimes just fire a customer is really relieving. It's really, really nice for you. And after I just said, okay, you can just fire a customer very nicely. You don't have to say, okay, move on and that's it. And nasty words. Just say, okay, this is not working at this time. We can try to improve, just stop our relationship and do something else. Okay, just give you eventually some contacts if you want, and try to find somebody else to go further. If you watch on Vimeo.com, there's this great presentation by a guy called Mike Montero. It's called "If You Pay Me," and take 20, 30 minutes to watch it. It's really great, very interesting. It talks about all of this in detail. Because in the end, what you must not forget is that it's not sometimes bad customer service, sometimes just bad customers. So you have to take care of this. So you also to, of course, take care of what happens around you. So listen to podcasts. Mac Admin's podcast, of course, is great. I really enjoy the Command Control Power team, who are also consultants like me. And I talked on their show a few months ago, and it was very nice. And it's really interesting to see that you are not alone, And of course, get on Slack if you didn't do it yet. There are so many great people here. I think, who's not on Slack today here? 1, 2, come on, you should come. It's open. And a really great place to get help and to help people as well. So, and now, so this is a part of my life which is maybe quite classical, should I say. But there is another part of my life which has been pretty hectic, should I say. So, DiskMaker 10 is a product. Who already used it? Quite a few people. Good. The others, you might use it later. I hope so. So what happens was that this was my first Mac. It was a Mac Performance 6200, which was, I think, declared like one of the worst Mac ever. And, it was 1996, or 20 years. And but this is a machine on which I began to work on AppleScript. And so don't forget that in 1986 it was also the time where we had to pray for Apple because these were hard times. But I stick with it and I stick on Mac and I really get fond with AppleScript. And what happens is that in 2011 I launched the first version of DiskMaker. So why did I create this software? Well, because of a need, of course. The thing was that at this time Apple decided that, well, the DVD was dead and people had just to download the macOS 10 Lion install app from the App Store and to update the machine to the US OS. Or eventually you could get the quite pricey USB thumb drive, which was sold for something like $59, quite expensive. And the problem is that it wasn't very easy to perform some stuff we were used to do before, like performing a clean install. If you got different machines, it was quite a mess because you had to download the application or copy it each time. You couldn't very easily do a clean install. Or you had to use internet recovery, which was not very efficient because if you use internet recovery, well, it's slow depending on your bandwidth. You may have some data caps on your bandwidth, on your internet connection as well. It's redundant. If you've got many machines to restore, you got to boot on the internet each time. And you've got no 802.11x support authentication or no proxy support. So it can be a bit messy. But what people wanted they wanted the old way. Like create a DVD, install it, run it, and that's it. And they install the software like we did before. And the magic in the thing was that very fast people found out that in the installer app, there was this magic file which was called install.esd.dmg. Does anyone know what ESD stands for? Ha! That's a good question. Almost. Electronic Software Delivery. Yeah. I learned that a few days before. And so the install.esd.dmg in fact contains the whole OS that you've got to install. And you can install it, you could just burn it on DVD or install it on a thumb drive using quite standard methods like using ASR command line or disk utility or create install media since macOS 10.9. And or the DRU command line if you want to burn it, or as well disk utility. But what I wanted to see is that if I could create an app, we just automate the process, make it very easy within a few clicks to try to find the installer on my hard drive and just build the thumb drive automatically. And it was just something that I wanted to see if I could do it. That's it, no more. And I tried it and it worked. Very easy, so just get the ESD file, burn it, or copy it on the thumb drive. It was quite easy. Because in Apple script, you've got a command which is called do shell script, which allows you to launch command as well using command line. So, in fact, if you look at the code of DiskMaker, you can just drag and drop its icon on the scripting editor in macOS, and you get all the code which is displayed. And so you can see that, like I try to find when you launch the application, you install macOS and Lion or whatever OS it is on your hard drive, and it does use an mdfind command. It's just do shell script command behind the scene. So it's very easy. And now it's demo time, because I also like to look at the truth. So just go back to mirroring. It's easier. Yeah. So I got here my target disk, so just a disk image I built on my drive. A bit easier, a bit faster to demo the software. So what I'll do is just launch DiskMaker. So behind the scenes, just Apple script, it's that dialogues, very easy. So it just asks you which version of OS you want to create a boot drive for. So I'll just use macOS 10 Sierra. I just support the last 3 OS, which is quite nice enough. So you find a copy of installer application in software, in the application folder, sorry. So here's this copy. Which kind of disk will we use? So you can choose an 8 GB thumb drive, and we just erase the whole drive and every partition of it and create your boot drive, or another kind of disk. So just choose an 8 GB thumb drive. Choose my disk, so target disk. Last warning, it will erase everything. So bad thing is that you have to provide your admin password, because the command line now requires it. So, oops. And of course, you must type the right password. And so what happens behind the scene, you see that there are some notifications. Because of mirroring on macOS here, it does automatically switch off the notifications, and because of Keynote, that's what it does. And so, but you can see there are notifications trying to tell you how far is it in the process. Almost done. And there's some AppleScript magic, just getting the icon. Okay. Copy pasting the icon. Try to find another way to do it. Not very easy, because I don't like this interaction. You know. And it's done. I like the lion sound. And so then you can just make a donation, if you wish, or open startup disk preference. And the nice thing is that if you can see here, the macOS drive has the subversion just named here, you see. So it tells you it's a Sierra disk. So obviously you can see it's, you can't see the drive here. I just built thumb drive. And you can see that here on my thumb drive I built a different version of the OS. So I've got 3 or 4 versions of macOS on the same thumb drive. And of course, the bootable works fine. So that's it. And hopefully it did work. Yeah. So why AppleScript? Well, because I'm not a programmer, basically. I'm a scripter. That's it. I don't think it's exactly the same job. Then AppleScript allows me to create easy intercommunication between applications through Apple events, and also through the do shell script command and other stuff. So it's quite efficient. it's not the best way. I know I could write an application using a Swift or whatever. It's just that first, I don't have time, and second, it's not my cup of tea, really. And you know, why don't you use the command line? Sometimes people ask me, and we just say, well, it's GUI. GUIs are cool, you know. The doctor would say, the fez are cool. Well, GUI are cool as well. Another reason I like GUI is that, well, my name is GUI. Oh, okay. Sorry, I had to do it. But I like GUI. I mean, we've been working with the best GUI for years, and now we just say, okay, we can do it through command line. Well, come on, we can use GUI. GUIs are cool. So, how did it impact this software impact my life? Well, it's interesting. Yeah. So these are the number of hits I get usually on my website. At this time was not this time in fact I was on holiday, so Spain I didn't publish much things on it. And but the funny thing is that there is a spike at the end of there, and it's about at the same time the first version of DiskMaker 1.0 was released. It was in French only, because I'm French, obviously. And what happened is that, so it got quite higher, you see, 250 for 3,000 hits, almost. And a website called 9to5Mac decided that they found out about the software by, I don't know which way. And at this time, DiskMaker has a nifty feature which allowed you to use a 4 GB thumb drive installer, even if application was a bit larger, maybe try to do some stuff to fit the installer on a 4 GB thumb drive, and 8 GB thumb drive were not so, or a bit quite more expensive. So what happens is that the number of hits per day will just rise like crazy. I got like 50,000 hits within a day. So then you think, well, money can be interesting. But at the beginning, it was just provided free of charge. You know, you can just play with it. It's still donationware. And so some people told me, oh, just put it on the App Store. But on the App Store, if you're using AppleScript, it's a no-go. You can't do it. It's only Swift or Objective-C apps. So no way to do this. So I went through PayPal or Bitcoin. I know some people don't like PayPal, but mostly they like Bitcoin, so it's okay. I provided 2 ways to, if people want to make a donation. And because the software is donationware, and I think donationware is quite a cool way for people to provide their support according to their needs and according to the how can I say this? To the help the software provided to them. And the question I got regularly is, does donationware work? You bet. And it's quite interesting. The smallest donation in 2016 I got was 30 cents, so not much, but I like the fact that people just give to the needs, according to the needs, so to our means, sorry. And but the biggest one was $100. Oh, quite nice. And I got, the biggest donors were USA, obviously, because maybe it's something, I don't know, but yeah, many people from USA. And the number of donations in 2016 was more than 2,100, so 2,100. So it's quite nice, actually. And I never thought when I launched this software that it would have so many people providing support for it. So it's nice. And so people talked about it, and it's funny for me to see that people also create some tutorials on the internet, on YouTube, talking about DiskMaker. But sometimes it's really nice to see that some people you've never thought would send a donation, just send a donation. And one day I got this mail from PayPal, and I got this guy sending donation. I won't say how much, but I was just like, whoa, getting crazy, you know, just flying over there. Just wake up and you're just flying over there for a whole day. And I think it's nice because this guy, I mean, he wasn't just, I think he wrote in one day maybe more code I wrote on my whole life, you know. And it's one of the reasons we are all together today. And I think it's really great that he provided support for his software. A few people from Apple as well provided the support, and it's really nice. So it goes far beyond sometimes than what you see. So what happens when I work on DiskMaker? So first, Apple announces, normally for WWDC, the next version of macOS and makes a beta available. And within a few minutes, I got, is the next version of DiskMaker 10 ready? So obviously no. I began to work on it probably normally just after the GM version because I'm lazy. And so when US is released, I release the version, a beta version, and then I work to try to fix bugs for the rest of the year, mostly. And the cycle just begin again next year. What I learned while working on DiskMaker 10 is that you have to know when to add features, and it's not always easy because people who just want crazy features. I got people asking me, well, I want you to work on DiskMaker to provide support for Macintosh. So not Apple Macintosh. No, sorry, don't do that. Because it's against the license of macOS, but I got so many requests, sometimes are just very interesting, sometimes it's just difficult to say no. Sometimes it's just almost impossible to do, so I say, okay, I won't do it. You have also to know when to exterminate. Sometimes your application just goes crazy and you got so many stuff in it, you have to try to remove stuff, and it's a nice thing to do. I got some people, at the time I just decided to remove support for DVD burning because it was really messy and it was not working very well, and I got some complaints within a few weeks that DVD burning was not working anymore. There are some workarounds. Who wants to burn DVD these days? You know. You must also try to provide extended OS support until it's really not worth it. But you wouldn't believe that there are still some people complaining that DiskMaker does not work on 10.6. It's obviously too long. It won't make some people happy. So yeah, we're really sad, but never mind. You have to move on as well. Yeah. Poor doctor. What I learned as well is that testing takes a lot of time, of course, and sadly I don't have TARDIS to go back in time, so very difficult sometimes to do it. Obviously, it takes even more time when you're dealing with very large applications. The installer each time is 5-6 gigabytes large, so you have to copy it. It can take some time. And you can test on a fast machine, and SSDs are great when you're dealing with applications which are quite large. But you have also to test sometimes on a slow one. Why? Well, because sometimes I learned that some features I've got on my software were working perfectly on my Mac with an SSD. And when you were using a slow thumb drive, well, some things just went, it was just wreaking havoc. So you have to take care about this. Sometimes you just grab a non-Mac, test with a slow thumb drive, and boy, you know how thumb drives can be very fast or very, very slow sometimes. The quality of thumb drives is just crazy. It's insane. I've tested a lot of thumb drives within the last years, and sometimes people tell me, well, it takes almost 2 hours to copy the data on the thumb drive. Well, sometimes you just say, well, you're using a crappy thumb drive, deal with it. If you want to be serious about scripting, you should get DEBUGGER, which is a great software from latenightsoftware.com. And it goes far beyond what the scripting editor from Apple provides. And if you really want to get serious about it, yeah, get it. It's not very expensive, and it's a really nice software with support. I learned also that you can localize scripts, which is nice. I mean, you can provide different languages. At the time, DiskMaker had many different languages. I had to remove support for some of them, but it will probably come back. You just have a feature which is called localized string of. When you're just calling, you just provide, you say, okay, here's erase and create the disk. And then you got a plist file, you just, no, an XML file, sorry. That's a plist, a PROJ file. Where you can just provide a localization, works fine. So I can tell you that people are just really like more your software when, of course, it's localized. And the French people don't like English, don't know why. Oh, people, yeah, damn people. We don't read warnings, and this should have been English. But mainly what it says is that, well, we're going to erase and create a drive, so we just erase all your data on your disk, the disk you chose, and sometimes just try to complain that, well, we chose the full drive feature, and it erased all that data as a 1 terabyte drive. Happened a few times. It's bad, but then I just put many different warnings and try to provide the best way to say to people, if you do this, it will erase this, 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 this. We don't read, and the end you can't do anything. Accessibility is great, of course. And you may not know that it's also provided with AppleScript. And the funny thing is that for one version of macOS, I think it was 10.10, Apple had a bug where where the voiceover feature was not working with AppleScript, and I got many blind people writing to me saying, "Hey, your software is not working." So okay, and I filled the bug, and that was very interesting because I filled the bug I think on Monday, and on Tuesday I got a mail from Apple saying, "Can you call me? Can we call you?" And I say, "What?" And I got a call from the accessibility team from Apple within a few days saying, "Well, we are aware of the bug, it will be fixed." Okay, why do you call me? It's nice. And they fixed it really. So, of course, for Apple, when Apple says accessibility is something important for them, it's really important for them. They really do what they can to make the software accessible. One nasty thing with AppleScript is that it's very difficult to deal with progress bars. It's very difficult to provide easy progress bar. There are some features which exist. I used the software which was called AppScript, very difficult to say, which was an embedded app with an application. I decided to remove it anyway. It's not working anymore in 10.12. So, but I decided instead to use notifications, which are nice, not obfuscating, not hiding anything, and it works quite well. So, enough for me. I think it's enough. Otherwise, you have to learn AppleScript Objective-C, which I may do one day or later when I'm retired, probably. Not quite. No. And Mac users are very, very fond of the software, and they want you see really good quality software. So it's really nice to have nice icons. I paid a designer called Benjamin Renaud to design the icons of DiskMaker. I really love it, and I try to stick on the Lion stuff, even for the OS version of the OS, which are not Lion related. But I think it's working quite well. So it's really nice to try to polish the experience so that the user is just delighted to use the software. What I learned while developing DiskMaker 10 is that your ideas can make a difference, but even if they seem obvious, because I've got many people telling me, you can do this the same way, if you try to launch a new version, you can do this the same way by command line or using whatever tool. But it's not that people don't want to do it, they just find it's much more easier to do it with software. Well, you got an idea, just push it. It will work, probably. And I think that's it. Almost on time, I think. Thank you.